Hello, my name is Cheryl Meyer, otherwise known as Cheryl M. Health Muse, and I am a health coach. I want to welcome you to my podcast, It Feels Good to Feel Good, Future-Proof Your Health. This is a weekly show that will share lifestyle changes that you can make to support your health yourself. Why do I want to share this information with you? 7 years ago, after being a business owner for 20 years, I woke up one morning in horrific pain where every bone and every joint in my body hurt. I went to the doctor, she ran lots of tests, and then she ran some more, and then she ran some more, and finally she called me and announced she was going to give me steroids, but there was absolutely nothing wrong with me and I should seek therapy. I knew something was wrong, I hurt. So she told me I would be on steroids for the rest of my life, and I refused that I was going to have a life of pain and pills. So why was I going to take steroids if there was nothing wrong with me? So I dug in and started researching, and I turned my business over to my staff. I found a functional doctor who confirmed that I had autoimmune disease by making a series of significant lifestyle changes that I could do for myself. 5 years later, I had returned to relative health. The best part is that I am now 70, and I feel better now than I did when I was 50. I no longer hurt, which is huge. I will always have autoimmune disease, but losing the pain has been amazing. I went back to school at 67 and became a health coach because I want to share everything that I learned with others. And I wrote a book called It Feels Good to Feel Good, Learn to Eliminate Toxins, Reduce Inflammation, and Feel Great Again, as the manual I wished that I had had when I got sick, and my book has won 13 awards. So whether you want to future-proof your health and grow old with dignity and grace without dementia and chronic pain and disease, which you don't need to get, or whether or not you already have a chronic condition like autoimmune disease or cancer or heart disease, and you want to learn about what things you can do to improve your long-term health, or whether you want to improve the health of your families and raise healthy children, because 53% of our children have a chronic condition, I look forward to sharing all this information with you. I will tell you, it truly does feel good to feel good, so let's get started. I look forward to having you join me here every week, and I want to give you hope that if you have chronic pain or chronic disease, you can make changes that will improve your health. And if you don't want to go there, you're going to be fine if you listen to the show and put these things into work. I want to give you information so that you can grow old and have a better tomorrow. So thank you for joining me. Let's get started. Welcome to another edition of It Feels Good to Feel Good, Future-Proof Your Health. This is the third video that I'm doing on the liver. And as you'll recall, I think that we do not give our liver enough credit for the 500 different functions it performs for our bodies. So in the first one, we talked about the liver and what does it do. The second one was all about what do we eat for it so that it can work at its maximum efficiency. And then this one's going to be about supplements. Now, because I am a health coach and I am not a doctor, I want you to run past any of these supplements past your medical care professional, because they may have you on a medication that might not get along well with one of these supplements. So either do a lot of your own research or talk to your medical care professional before you start adding supplements to your diet. But the liver is something that supplements can really make a difference with. So that's the good news. And as I explained, the liver can actually regenerate cells, which is a pretty significant, wondrous thing unto itself. So make notes if you have a problem with your liver, because these supplements could actually bring you back to liver health. Specific products that tout themselves as liver detoxes, liver cleanses, and liver flushes have not been evaluated for safety and effectiveness. So that said, There are some individual nutrients that hold promise for supporting liver health, but I really believe that the best way to cleanse the liver is with food, real, live, organic food, mostly the cruciferous family, and through supplementation, which is what we're going to talk about today. Remember that the liver is what all the chemicals and all the toxins that go into our body get to go through in order to get expelled from the body. So any support we can give to our liver will help us, because the liver then works with every other organ in the body for our total health. There are supplements like probiotics, resveratrol, curcumin, vitamin E, vitamin C, vitamin D, that help naturally to improve a fatty liver. Vitamin B12s significantly lower in patients that have fatty liver disease. So if you've been told that you have a fatty liver, or if your doctor has suspicions that you have a fatty liver, have them check your vitamin C, your vitamin B12 levels, because that might help you, and also your vitamin D. You should always be getting your vitamin D and your magnesium checked every time you go to the doctor anyway. The first supplement I want to talk about is really kind of a wondrous supplement, and it's called alpha lipoic acid. I actually listened to an extensive presentation by a doctor who was supposed to be doing liver replacements, and instead he studied under someone that uses alpha lipoic acid to regrow the liver and avoid having liver transplants. Now, here's a case again. You want to talk to your doctor, you want him to partner with this doctor, and I have all the information on where to find this doctor. He's in La Cruces, New Mexico, but that just might be in handy if you have alcoholic fatty liver disease, or if your fatty liver disease that is not alcoholic but that has come on because you've been eating just all kinds of crud and sugar. This might be useful information for you, and it might give you hope that there are alternatives to having a whole liver transplant. You want to be careful with alpha lipoic acid because you don't want to take too much. It can actually lower your blood sugar so effectively that you go into hypoglycemia. But it is a great herbal supplement for liver health. And we'll talk about who he is and how to handle the fatty liver disease when it gets severe, when we talk about him. Other things that are very helpful are selenium. Now, selenium you do not need very much. One Brazil nut will give you an adequate supply of selenium for the day. So you don't want to be buying some supplement and taking massive amounts of selenium. But what selenium does is it recycles your glutathione, which is a very strong antioxidant, which is extremely good for your liver. And another enzyme in your body that breaks down hydrogen peroxide is called catalase. Both catalase and glutathione require selenium as part of their molecular structure in order to function properly and keep you healthy. Both of those enzymes are major players in detoxification. So you don't need to buy something that you're going to drink that's going to detoxify you. You can do that with green drinks, which we posted in the last video, or you can do that with green drinks and then supplementation. The biggie in terms of liver health is something called milk thistle, and it's really almost like a miracle herb. It can cleanse the liver and eliminate poisons or toxins, and it's great for chronic liver disease, and it showed that it appears to be safe and is extremely well tolerated for patients. I take milk thistle, I take alpha lipoic acid in the quantities that my doctor has recommended, and they are making a difference in my fatty liver disease. So this is all good news. Milk thistle can be taken by mouth as a pill, or you can take it as a detox tea, and it's improved in Europe for liver damage, especially damage related to drinking alcohol, but it's also good for non-alcoholic fatty liver disease. And the reason that it's so good is it's an excellent source of the antioxidant called silymarin, Silymarin, which prevents depletion of glutathione in the liver and fights liver disease. It's the best known herbal supplement for liver health, and it's an extract of the seeds of the flowering milk thistle plant. It has antioxidant and anti-inflammatory properties, and research shows that it helps stimulate the regeneration of your liver cells to protect them from injury that was induced by substances like, and I know I'm going to mispronounce this, but Tylenol, acetaminophen, and alcohol. It's been shown to boost your glutathione levels, which is a super antioxidant. And so you want a milk thistle supplement that's been standardized to contain 70 to 80% silymarin, and follow the suggested use instructions on the manufacturer's label, but talk to your healthcare professional. There are all kinds of milk thistle products available, and the seeds and the leaves of the milk thistle plant can be consumed in pill, powder, tincture, extract, or tea form. The seeds could actually even be eaten raw, but usually people prefer to take the extract or a supplement. Mine comes in little capsules in order to consume a higher dose and to get greater results. It is the king of detoxifying herbs, making it an ideal liver cleanse. And it builds up and takes out heavy toxic metals, prescriptive medications, environmental pollutants, and alcohol from the liver. In addition, it helps to reduce the negative effects on the liver after both chemotherapy and radiation. Research indicates that the active ingredient in milk thistle helps to strengthen the cell walls in the liver while supporting healthy regeneration. It can also be taken as a tea, and I use traditional medicinals when I'm using any tea of any herb like this. And by the way, I talked at length last time about dandelion. You can also drink dandelion as a tea, and that would be a great way to get the dandelion and the bitter herbs into your body. It's actually called milk thistle because the leaves have a spotted white pattern that makes them look like they've been dunked in milk. It's also known as St. Mary's thistle, holy thistle, and silybum. It's commonly used from everything from weight loss to skin health to promoting breast milk production. However, although there are many different potential benefits, it's best known in its ability to support the liver. According to a study that was published in Digestive Diseases and Science, it has the power to improve mortality in patients with liver failure, and it's able to naturally reverse the harmful effects of alcohol consumption, pesticides, heavy toxic metals, pollution from the air that we breathe, and even poisons. The 6 top benefits are: we know that it is good for liver detoxification. It might also help protect against cancer. It's a great source of an antioxidant flavonoid, the silymarin, which is something that's particularly good to reduce risk for cancer development, especially breast cancer, by boosting the immune system and fighting DNA damage and reversing cancerous tumor growth. In addition to blocking breast cancer, test tube and animal studies show that it might also protect against several other types of cancer as well, including prostate cancer and lung cancer. Milk thistle might actually lower high cholesterol. It benefits heart health and helps lower high cholesterol by reducing inflammation and cleaning the blood and preventing occidental stress damage within the arteries. In addition, it helps to reduce the negative effects on the liver after chemotherapy and radiation. It's a pretty amazing little plant. And it may help to control or prevent diabetes. According to the National Institute of Health, there's compelling research that shows that taking silymarin, the main chemical, will help control symptoms of type 2 diabetes because you get better blood sugar control. The valuable antioxidants found in milk thistle have been reported in experimental and clinical studies to decrease blood sugar levels in people with insulin resistance. It might actually help prevent gallstones. What gallstones are is cholesterol that gets stuck in the gallbladder and they harden and become almost like stones. And since your liver is your major digestive organ and helps process nutrients and toxins that enter our body through food, air, and water, like the gallbladder, pancreas, intestines, and kidneys, they all work closely together to improve liver health. And milk thistle is able to prevent gallstones and actually kidney stones as well. It has anti-aging effects. Thanks, all that good stuff for your skin. Thanks to antioxidant content of milk thistle, the herb actually slows the aging process. This applies to both the surface of your skin and your organs, and the antioxidants protect your body from chronic disease. Milk thistle's protective qualities of the skin make it great for reducing visible signs of aging, which means it helps you reduce visible signs of wrinkles. So consuming milk thistle is an easy way to prevent skin cancer and skin damage, such as acne, dark spots, wrinkles, lines, and discoloration. It's a master antioxidant that's extremely useful at helping prevent disease formation. And glutathione's biggest role is to help fight oxidative stress, which leads to such diseases as cancer, diabetes, heart disease, and neurodegenerative diseases like Alzheimer's, and this is good for all of that. It is feasible that milk thistle could interact with some other medications, including allergy medications, anti-anxiety drugs, and blood thinners. So this is why you want to make sure you run this past your medical practitioner before you just start taking it. Okay, the next one up is ginger root. Ginger root is wonderful for lowering inflammation. You can also make a tea out of it just by slicing it thin and boiling it in hot water and then straining out the slices of ginger and drinking it, which is pretty yummy. And you add a little drop of stevia to it, and that's a nice way to support your liver and support your body and lower your inflammation. It slows down the progression of fatty liver disease so that more severe liver diseases do not occur. Black seed oil. This amazing oil can greatly speed the healing process for people with fatty liver disease. A study published in the European Review for Medical and Pharmaceutical Sciences measured black seed oil's ability to inhibit liver oxidative stress markers. The results of the study indicated that black seed oil benefits liver disease patients because it's able to reduce the complications and progression of fatty liver disease. The next one is it's really crucial for you to have an adequate amount of vitamin C. So that's another one for you to check. We put that on your list of things you want your doctor to check when you go to the doctor next time. It also protects your body from toxins and free radicals in the air and also increases your immunity. Researchers have found consuming foods such as avocado and spinach, which are also both high in vitamin E, can help counteract the effects of certain types of particulate pollution. Bloomberg School of Public Health at Johns Hopkins found that people who ate broccoli excreted toxins associated with ozone and particulate matter pollution. This is due to the presence of sulforaphane, an anti-carcinogen that is contained in broccoli. And as I'm going to remind you, when you're going to eat broccoli, you're going to cut it up and you're going to let it sit for a half an hour so that the sulforaphane comes out and is at its highest level, and then you're going to cook with it so that you get the maximum benefit from that broccoli. If you want to lose weight without feeling hungry and without dieting, this is a great way to do that. So increase your vitamin C, eat more cruciferous vegetables like broccoli, and that will help you not only reduce the fat in your liver, but help you lose weight. And if I haven't talked about it recently. I'm a huge believer in losing weight without dieting. You don't want to be deprived. You want to be able to eat real food, but the real food that I want you to be eating is real quality food because food quality matters. And that means that 75% of what I want you to put into your body are fruits and vegetables, preferably organic, but if it's on the Dirty Dozen side of the EWG list, which you can find by going to ewg.org or by going to my website, the Dirty Dozen, you absolutely want to buy those organic because they have multiple toxins on them that are harmful to the body. Vitamin C functions as an antioxidant and prevents or lessens toxic damage to liver cells. It will clean out the liver, flushing away fats and fatty buildup. It protects the liver against cirrhosis, which is the more severe liver disease. Studies indicate that one of the effects of vitamin C on the liver is the ability to reverse or lessen the diseases of the liver. It can even help reverse jaundice. The modern diet is deficient in vitamin C amongst other vitamin and minerals, and that's a factor for heart disease. And remember, if you have a fatty liver, you have a much greater chance of having heart disease. It's the #1 cause of heart disease. So all these organs work together. The vitamin C that you take is the half-life of 30 minutes. So it's all gone in 4 hours. So what this shows is that all of health is dependent on many of the same nutrients, which is why lifestyle is so key to keeping everything healthy. I would also strongly recommend that you eat things that are higher in vitamin C. Now, if you're on any kind of blood pressure medication, you might not be able to eat grapefruit, but you can put lemon in your water, you can eat oranges, you can eat tangerines, you can eat limes, you can eat the other citrus fruits, which will boost your vitamin C and help your whole body be healthier. The next one is CQ10, a vitamin-like substance which inhibits fatty liver disease. This is especially true if you're on a high-fat diet. CoQ10 plays a key role in mitochondrial function as well as having antioxidant and anti-inflammatory action. In studies using mice with hepatic fibrosis, it was cleared when the mice were fed CoQ10. The CoQ10 levels are depleted in fatty liver, and so the studies in both animal models and human studies have indicated that supplementation with CoQ10 can significantly reduce oxidative stress and inflammation that is characteristic in fatty liver disease. In addition, fatty liver disease patients are at increased risk of developing heart failure, and CoQ10 helps reduce this risk. You can safely boost your intake of CoQ10 by eating foods that are high, such as oily fish, which are salmon, herring, mackerel, and sardines, organ meats, which are liver from grass-fed, grass-finished cows, and chicken from pastured chicken who's eating his natural diet running around in a field. And his natural diet is grasses and berries and bugs. And that's when he tastes the best, and that's when he has the best amount of CoQ10. Vegetables such as spinach, cauliflower, and broccoli are also great to add to your CoQ10, and fruit sources are oranges and strawberries, lentils, sesame seeds, and pistachios. The next supplement is NAC, N-A-C, which stands for N-acetylcysteine. It's linked with a reduction in death rate for people with acute liver failure, and it's been safe to use in cases where patients weren't poisoned by an overdose of Tylenol. So if your reason for your fatty liver is Tylenol, then absolutely you want to talk to your doctor about whether or not this would be the right thing for you to do. Increasing levels of the antioxidant called glutathione. I actually take NAC so that I keep my glutathione levels up and high. And NAC does that for me. It treats the Tylenol, which is a class of painkiller overdose. It breaks up mucus in people with some lung diseases, including chronic bronchitis. It protects your liver. It helps prevent bladder and neurologic damage caused by drugs, and it potentially helps prevent colon cancer. The next supplement to take a look at is chlorella. Algae, specifically, chlorella is a powerful chelator, which means it can bind and remove heavy toxic metals and other toxins that might otherwise be toxing your liver. Lab studies show that chlorella can absorb 40% of the heavy metals in a test solution within 7 days, while animal studies show that chlorella helps remove toxins like mercury right from the body. That's what I used when I had heavy toxic metals in my body. I used some drops that were very high in the chlorella family of algae, and it finally did grab and get all of the heavy toxic metals out of my body. Chlorella also has several nutrients with antioxidant properties. So it includes vitamin C, chlorophyll, beta-carotene, lutein, which is really good for your eyes, and lycopene. Consider adding a scoop of chlorella powder to your morning smoothie so that you get a big detoxifying boost. Activated charcoal. I was reading a lot about activated charcoal, and I thought it was interesting that people wanted us to eat charcoal. Well, it ends up that it grabs a hold of things and then takes them out of your body, especially toxins. So it's a very good thing to use activated charcoal. And the other thing that's really good is to take a fiber pill like PGX, because that will grab the toxins that are released and take them out of your body. Activated charcoal can bind and remove toxins that are circulating in your system. It can also bind minerals and vitamins, however, so take it between meals and away from other supplements. Studies have not been done to determine activated charcoal's long-term safety, so consider this as a short-term fix. Targeted strategy for when you really need some extra support. If you take other supplements in the morning, then consider taking one activated charcoal tablet between lunch and dinner. You can also take fiber. Now, this is where we talk about the PGX, because it also grabs the toxins and removes them from the body. This is where I talk about dandelion root tea, which we've discussed. The next herb that's really good for your body and your liver is barberry. And it contains a variety of nutrients that are useful for treating different kinds of health-related issues. Again, it's a very rich source of vitamin C, lutein, beta-carotene, and zinc, which is why it's highly recommended for people who want to improve their overall health, but it also improves your liver health in particular. It contains a potent amount of berberine, an alkaloid known for its antimicrobial, anti-inflammatory, antifungal, and rejuvenating properties. The effect of barberry on liver health has been the subject of research for years. In 2015, a study revealed how berberine helps enhance the function of your liver enzymes, what makes it easier for your liver to get rid of all those toxins. Berberine has also been proven to aid in bile secretion, making it easier for the body to eliminate harmful chemicals from food. Barberry fights infection, aids the GI tract, treats and prevents diabetes, improves heart health, combats metabolic syndrome, and cleanses the liver and gallbladder. The next herb that's great to consider is burdock root. It's from the same family as dandelions, and it can help detox your system because it cleanses your blood, therefore helping to support the liver function. Remember, the blood all goes through your liver so that it can get filtered, and all the crud stops at the liver and doesn't continue on. Many people are yet to try this natural remedy, but research has proven that a solution made with burdock root has very powerful blood sugar lowering properties. It's also said that the bulk of this research has been conducted with animal subjects or through trials and so more trials and investigations are necessary. whilst caution should be exercised. There's a good reason to be hopeful, as science behind the findings is actually quite conclusive, and it isn't rocketing science to understand that the fiber within burdock is useful in preventing the absorption of certain sugars, and so even if the human trials are few and far between, the expectation is that they will prove to be positive. The next one up is turmeric. Now that's one of my most favorite supplements. I use curcumin, which is the active ingredient from turmeric, for pain, and it works like a charm. I take it for headaches, I take it for my inflammation pain, I take it for the pain that I get in my joints and my muscles, and I'm pretty much pain-free these days, and it's largely because of the curcumin that I take. If you're looking to add turmeric into your diet, you might also try turmeric tea. It's creamy and sweet and highly anti-inflammatory. And you can also take a supplement. If you're using a supplement, take 1,000 milligrams of curcumin a day. And it reduces the fatty deposits in the liver and produces liver progression with its potent antioxidant and anti-inflammatory activities. Curcumin has been shown to protect against liver injury by reducing oxidative stress and promoting glutathione. All these things promote glutathione, which is the key element that your livers need to start to get well. Other research suggests it stimulates the production of bile, which is the fluid produced by our livers that aids in the digestion of fats within the small intestine. Of course, more research on turmeric and liver health needs to be done on humans before any official recommendations can be made. But I can tell you that it's worked miracles on me. And the brand that I use of curcumin is Nature's Sunshine, and it's 1,000 milligrams, and it has black pepper in it, and you need the black pepper to release the goodness of the curcumin, so you want to do them both together. When I first started trying to take curcumin, I was breaking open the capsules and mixing black pepper in on the spoon, and that color yellow stains permanently, so you don't want to do that. You want to buy a supplement that has them both in it. Turmeric, that was Nature's Sunshine Turmeric Curcumin, and I buy it, believe it or not, on Amazon. Turmeric reduces joint pain. It's an effective antidepressant. It aids in digestion. It restores a healthy blood sugar balance, and it supports healthy liver tissue and liver metabolism. It is currently being studied for a variety of health benefits for both diseases and conditions, including Alzheimer's disease, which remember they're now calling diabetes type 3, cancer, depression, osteoarthritis, breast health, prostate health, and chronic pain. There are a couple herbs that you might consider growing in your garden and using in your cooking. Holy basil is one of them. Licorice root is one of them. And bupleurum is a medicinal root used for fighting infections and improving digestive problems like acid reflux, diarrhea, and constipation. It also will improve your adrenal gland function. When I got sick, I had a huge adrenal gland problem, but it's now running like a clock. Reduce effects of stress and make your immune system work harder. So it's also, I'd never heard of it, but it's a very good herb that might support your body. The next one is catalase. The first time I ever discovered catalase is I follow a pharmacist who does the Ask the Pharmacist syndicated column in newspapers all the way across the country. And her name is Susie Cohen. She's a wonderful woman, and I learn more from reading her newsletters than from reading almost anybody. And she came out with a supplement of catalase. Your body actually manufactures its own, but the key is to have more of it. And although it's made in your liver every day, it's a potent antioxidant that's needed to break down peroxide in your body. So catalase is a great supplement to take, and you can get it directly on the Susie Cohen website. And then sign up for her newsletter because you'll learn a lot about your health and different solutions that are holistic. She's a pharmacist, but she'd rather you use the holistic approach before you take the pharmaceutical pill. And if you need the pharmaceutical pill, then she'll talk about how important that is at that point. But she is a wealth of great information. Next up is glutathione. We keep talking about all the other things that create glutathione. Well, you can actually take glutathione as a supplement unto itself. And it's needed because it destroys formaldehyde. You may think you don't have to worry about formaldehyde because you're not currently embalmed. However, it's in our bodies and we need to get rid of it. And it's present in living people. So if you've been exposed to formaldehyde, and it's found in all kinds of household products like vapor from strong glues and paint, lacquer, clothing made with polyester, nylon, or acrylic. All of those things have formaldehyde in them. So you want the glutathione to make sure that you're getting rid of the formaldehyde. Now, you need to do your research because you want to be taking a glutathione that has a cap that won't get destroyed by your stomach acid. And there are some available. Like everything, just like food quality matters, supplement quality matters. So don't just go buying something that's the name of this at the cheapest possible price, because you're going to be getting synthetic and you're going to be getting things that don't withstand your stomach acid. You want a high quality supplement so that it can get into your body and do its wonder, because that's when you're going to get the greatest benefit. Now, I have 2 recipes that were put right over what I'm talking about. The first one is my functional doctor's green drink, and it is to get toxins out of the body. And it's spinach, parsley, cilantro, ginger, lemon, and I throw those all into my Vitamix with 1 orange and an entire cucumber and then 1 apple, peel and all, but you want to get the seeds out of it because, believe it or not, apple seeds have arsenic in them. So that's 1 green drink, and we'll give you the quantities and everything in the recipe that we'll put right into the podcast. And then the other one is another doctor that I follow who is a functional doctor, and his name is Dr. Josh Axe. And his liver detox drink probably is a little bit easier to drink because it's got fruits in it, but if you have a blood sugar problem, stick with the green one. It's probably better for you. This detox drink has unsweetened cranberry juice with a ratio of 3 parts of water to 1 part cranberry juice. So I buy my cranberry juice at Trader Joe's because it's unsweetened, and then I put a little bit of cranberry juice in a glass and fill it up with filtered water, and that becomes my cranberry juice. Then add a 1/4 teaspoon of nutmeg and ginger and a 1/2 teaspoon of cinnamon into a tea infuser and let it seep in simmering water for 20 minutes. Then you cool it to room temperature. Add the juice of 3 oranges and 3 lemons and stir. And if the mixture is too tart, you sweeten it with a couple drops of stevia. But remember, with stevia, they come with all kinds of crud in them. So you want stevia in alcohol that's only stevia. You don't want dextrose or anything else in your stevia. My final thoughts are that cleansing and detoxing the liver and the colon helps to clear pesticides, medications, heavy metals, and the remnants of cancer therapy out of your system, resulting in a much healthier liver. To keep your liver healthy through the years, periodically do a 24-hour liver cleanse, which means you eat all the green vegetables that we've been talking about. You eat the dandelion greens, you take the milk thistle, you take the vitamin C, you eat the citrus fruit, you drink one of these 2 detox drinks, and you do it periodically just to make sure you're giving your liver a tune-up once you get your liver back to functioning at full speed. Maintaining a healthy diet void of processed foods and high in vegetables, legumes, whole grains are great whether you're on a liver cleanse or not. Now we're going to move on to the gallbladder. Gallbladder is a really important issue for us to talk to. It is like a sibling of the liver. It's a little gland that's right under the liver, and the liver helps monitor the gallbladder's health. The liver itself is what we call an accessory organ to digestion. So your gut from your mouth to your anus is the main organ of digestion, but the liver produces a substance called bile. Bile has a very unique job. It emulsifies fat. So what does that mean? It takes fat from your diet. Hopefully mostly what you're eating now are omega-3 fats, because we've talked about that. And then understand the vitamin A, D, E, and K are also fats. So in order to absorb them properly from your food that you eat, your liver has to be able to produce bile. And then the gallbladder, which is this little muscular sac attached to the liver, has to be able to excrete that bile into your small intestine, where it then can now mix with the fats from the diet that you just ate and emulsify those fats, converting them into water-soluble substances so your intestines can absorb them into the bloodstream. That is a very, very important function of the liver, and that's the bile. Now, your gallbladder is not a throwaway organ. If you have gallstones, that's hardened cholesterol that's lodging itself in your bile ducts and in your gallbladder and even in your kidneys. So you want to increase the amount of cruciferous vegetables that you're eating. You want to start using these detox drinks, and you want to support yourself as much as possible with things like dandelion greens and other bitters. My favorite is arugula. You want to eat more of the bitter greens because that all sends a signal to your bile for it to create what needs to happen so that those too hard lumps of cholesterol get passed and don't interrupt the function of your gallbladder. What bile does for fat, but it's also a very potent toxin binder. So it binds a lot of toxins in your guts so that they never make it into your bloodstream. So that's a second function of your bile that's really important. The liver actually protects itself with bile. It secretes that bile into your intestines so that toxins get bound, and then you poop those guys out without them coming into your bloodstream in the first place. Because the first stop when you absorb nutrients, when you absorb from your gut, the first stop is something called the portal circulation, which goes to the liver first. So bile helps you get rid of those toxins before they ever go into your bloodstream and circulate into your liver. So that's another reason that bile is really important. The liver protects itself from toxins by secreting bile into your lower intestine. So if you've had it removed, you're missing out on half of your capacity to protect your liver now that it's harder for your liver and for your body to get bile into the small intestines to help you. That's what's important for you to understand. So if you've had that kind of surgery, you nutritionally need to support your liver. There are supplements that you can take, and things like ox bile, choline, and taurine are very important agents to help your liver produce bile without crystallizing. If you're being told that you absolutely have to have your gallbladder removed, choline and taurine and vitamin C are three very important nutrients that can thin your bile. So see what happens when you obstruct your gallbladder. If the bile is a fluid, so that it can crystallize and form stones, just like you can with kidney stones. You want to take the choline, taurine, and vitamin C to make the bile more fluid so that you don't create the stones and that you flush them out. So if you're eating low nutrient dense foods, if you're eating junk food, if you're eating synthetic ingredients in processed food, you're not giving your liver and your gallbladder an opportunity to function at full speed, and your body's malnourished. I had commented that I read that if I was overweight, most likely I was starving. That really threw me. I thought about that for a long time, and what it was telling me was I wasn't giving my body nutrients that my body needed to function, and that makes sense. So you need to make sure that you're eating all the colors of the rainbow, because that's where you get all those beautiful nutrients. And if you're eating all junk and processed food, you're eating food that's damaging your liver. because that food doesn't contain the nutrients that you need for your liver, and whatever's got left has got to try to supply a reverse bank to your organs and into your tissues. So that's what happens when people start to lose that reserve, and when that reserve diminishes, then we get what we call disease. So your liver needs nutrients more than almost any other organ. It has to have phytonutrients. But in all honesty, your whole body needs them. Your brain needs them, your heart needs them, the lung lining needs them, your digestive system needs them. You need to be eating real food, and you need to be cooking so that you can control what you're putting into your body. So once they classify your symptoms, what do? They generally prescribe a medication to treat the symptoms of whatever your disease is. And guess what? That medication has to be metabolized and processed. So where does it have to go? It has to go through your liver. And many medications are so dangerous to the liver that the doctor is actually supposed to check your liver enzymes every 3 to 6 months just to ensure that the pill that he has you on is not damaging your liver beyond the point of no return. B vitamins are necessary for energy, and in order to make that, we have to be able to break down micronutrients. So I want to keep telling you these are all the reasons to be eating the rainbow, because your body deserves them and demands them in order to be able to create health. It's a very unsexy thing, this gallbladder. The gallbladder is about 3 inches long and 1.5 inches wide, and you'll never think about it your whole life until your upper right quadrant starts to hurt. Your liver makes bile, which goes through your gallbladder, where it's concentrated to become stronger, like 5 times stronger, and it sits there in storage until you eat something fatty, and then it's secreted to break down that food. It's a little more complicated than that, but that's a good beginning explanation. Bile is a liquid that's greenish yellow. It's like soap. It breaks down fat into smaller globules so that your fat-destroying enzyme lipase can turn it into tinier molecules. Bile, when combined with bilirubin, helps create waste for you to eliminate, and furthermore, it gives your feces that distinct brownish color. It's also thought to deodorize your feces. So if you have an unpleasant stool odor, it's a sign that you're not making enough bile. Furthermore, if you're constipated, you are probably not making enough bile. So that's a potential sign of liver compromise. Now, if you're like me and you have times when you get inflamed, the first place I can tell that I'm inflamed, number one, I gain weight overnight. I can gain as many as 8 or 9 pounds overnight when I'm inflamed. But the second thing that happens to me is I get constipated. That is a sure sign of constipation. So I increase my leafy green vegetables and my bitter greens. I increase my cruciferous vegetables when that happens, because I want to support my body to bring the inflammation back down. If your gallbladder is inflamed and full of stones, it could be due to the fact that you took birth control for years, or that you eat a high-fat diet, or that you're sedentary. These are common risk factors, and the pain is in your right or middle right side, right under your rib cage. The issue is that your liver, which determines the quality of your bile and whether or not the bile leads to gallstone formation. So when you think of gallbladder health, do not exclude liver health. They hold hands. They are completely connected. Here's some ideas for natural remedies which will support the health of your liver and your gallbladder and your bile formation. So talk to your doctor and find out which of these is right for you. The first one is the ox bile, and there's a supplement called Liver by Ancestral Supplements that will help you. It's a grass-fed bovine-derived formula that helps bile production and reduces reduced bile excretion. So it helps your bile get formed properly. If your gallbladder has been removed, this can also help. And likewise, if you're worried about stones, then apparently this can also help. This brand of organ-deprived supplements is top-notch. And here, the one here is gallbladder specific. So that's ox bile and liver by Ancestral Supplements. As odd as it might seem, this is the same premise behind bone broth, collagen, and gelatin. The next one is Gallbladder Formula by Nature's Sunshine. That's the same company that makes my curcumin. This multitasking blend contains Oregon grape, ginger, cramp bark, fennel, peppermint, catnip, and more. Unlike Ancestral Supplement listed above, this is non-bovine, so if you're vegan, then this is a good one for you to do instead. I can tell you that in case you'd like to try both of them together, of course you need to control your variables, so only start the one a few weeks after the other. Don't start them both on the same day. And of course, make sure that your doctor approves this before you do it. Apple is really good to help thin the bile in your liver. Apples have malic acid in them and fiber in them, and so they're really great at keeping the bile in your liver flowing freely. The pectin in apples is really good for you. This includes getting rid of toxic metals which may have accumulated in the liver. It includes aluminum and lead, and by inactivating them, it's reducing the risk of your liver's toxicity. The malic acid in apples, tart cherries, and cranberries softens cholesterol gallstones, and 80% of all gallstones are said to be cholesterol stones. Again, apples are a very liver-friendly fruit. Carrot juice. Carrots are high in vitamin C, and we know vitamin C is good for us, which can minimize calcium deposits which contribute to stone formation. Freshly extracted juices clean up the gastrointestinal system, including your gallbladder, reducing the risk of gallstones. Carrot juice also helps with constipation. Finally, it's known to stimulate bile secretion. Now this one I never heard of, and it's Chanca piedra, and it helps you secrete bile. It's an herb that's been used for centuries for liver inflammation and stones, and so it's a very good idea. So check with your doctor, and then quick research will reveal that it's been used for all kinds of urinary, gastrointestinal, and gallbladder problems, and it's nicknamed the Stone Breaker. There are a few awesome supplements available today, and also teas at Health Food Stores that carry Chanca piedra. It's CHANCAPIEDRA. Then we're back to ginger. You can eat crystallized ginger if that's the only way you can get it down. It does have a sort of peppery taste, but if you like ginger, just cook it and make it yourself in a tea. I use ginger a lot in my cooking. It adds a lot of flavor. It converts cholesterol and turns them into bile acids, thus reducing the formation of gallstones. Fennel. Fennel tea is really nice because it helps with indigestion and eases gallbladder inflammation. Overseas in Europe, gripe water is used for babies who have colic, but what it really is just fennel water. Milk thistle again. Milk thistle is as good for your gallbladder as it is for your liver. Berberine is also very good for your gallbladder, just as it is for your liver, and that's the full list. So now you have all the supplements you can take that will support both your liver and your gallbladder. You know what foods you're supposed to be eating. Try to add some organ meats in, but only eat organ meats from animals that have eaten their species-specific diet, because you don't want them if they've been brought up on all kinds of GMO feed, which has Bt toxin in them. So you want to get organ meats from cows that eat grass-fed, grass-finished, and then are treated humanely on their way to being butchered. If you do all these things and protect the health of your liver, your entire body can start to feel better. And one of the most important components of all of this, remember, is eating the rainbow. Stop eating processed food. It is addictive. It is loaded with hidden sugars, and it is loaded with fake ingredients that are addictive on purpose because the food companies want you to come back and eat them again and again and again. And it doesn't take that long to break the addictions to all this stuff, and then you're home free. You have control over what you want to feed your body, and your body starts to celebrate. So thank you so much for joining me for all these hours of information on the liver. We'll be back Not sure which topic I'm going to discuss next, but it will be something similarly important for you to know about your body so that you can live the best possible life. Thank you for joining me. See you again soon. Bye-bye.